What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is May the 29th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before getting into any of that though, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we do have the dreaded GDP coming out in roughly 1 hour. So at 7:30, current forecast for that is 3.7. So at the end of the day, even if it does come in a little bit lower than the forecast, I feel like the market is still going to move higher because of the two catalysts that did come out yesterday. So one of which is Nvidia earnings. Second is US courts did strike down Trump's April tariffs. So that is huge, a very big deal. Of course, I'm sure there's going to be workarounds that Trump could potentially do to kind of put them back on the table, but at least for right now, the market is really moving higher. So you did see ultimately during the after hours yesterday, two bumps up. So you had initially Nvidia earnings, which kind of caused a lot of stocks to really move higher. And then you did have this Trump announcement, the tariff announcement. So things seem to be looking pretty a-okay right now. So Dow is up 0.54, S&P 1.06, NASDAQ up 1.53. There is a little bit of a pullback right now. I think that's just last minute jitters associated to GDP. But if it does come in better than anticipated, and just expect us to go back to the kind of recent highs, if not a little bit higher than that. So FOMO might definitely be kicking in. At the same time though, I feel like a lot of institutions are purposefully not buying right now. They would rather, once the market does open, buy a ton of calls, and then they will be free to run up the price significantly. And unfortunately, that's a little bit manipulation, but it happens. That's all the time. So aside from that, though, fear and greed index is still under the greed category. It has not budged over the last couple of days, despite back and forth. So it is fair to assume that this is broken once again, similar to whatever, I'm not really sure. I think like a month ago, it was not moving whatsoever. But aside from that, getting right to it, SoFi is up, piggybacking off the broader market. They do have their shareholder meeting early this morning, I think starting in maybe half an hour, I believe, but nothing really crazy coming from that. So that's not going to be a catalyst in my opinion. Aside from that though, shorts. So 13.73% of the free flow is being shorted. Works out to be 149.09 million shares overall are being shorted. With it right now in the pre-market at 1352, trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 1366 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, followed by 1392. And SoFi is definitely one of those stocks that moves significantly once the market does open. So meaning institutions buy calls or puts and then they move the stock price. So SoFi could see some crazy price action today. Moving on, Nvidia. Of course, it's the most heavily traded stock so far during the pre-market because of their home run earnings. Even though they did give kind of a lot of red flags associated to China and the tariffs and stuff like that, still they're kicking ass. So Nvidia is one of those stocks that's like you do not want to bet against. Pre-market shorts are returning 226,000 shares. And I did bring up Nvidia during my pre-market yesterday, and I found it very weird. I believe shorts were increasing roughly around 2 million shares, if I remember correctly. So definitely those individuals really bet on the wrong direction. So they really messed up. But aside from that though, right now with it at 142, trading between this R3 and this R2. So 149 is going to be the next strong target. I don't really see that being touched today. Then flip side, 140 is going to be the next strong support. So I do feel it is going to stay in this range, but not really touching this R3 today. Again, for those day traders and whatever else. TEM, so they are getting a lot of volume today. They did get hit significantly yesterday, down 19.23% because of a short report. So it's recovering a little bit from that. And I feel like the last couple of companies that have received a short report, similar type of nature does happen, that it just gets bought up and it really moves higher. So something maybe to consider. Shorts, on the other hand, though, are pretty much at all-time highs, increasing 105,000 shares during the pre-market. 21.14% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 21.22 million shares. With it right now at 55 and change, it is right between this R1 and the pivot. So 56 is going to be that key pivot. So just watch for that. Flip side, I don't see that 48, which is going to be a strong support, or the other resistance level, 61, being touched today. So just watch for that 56 to be that kind of key pivot for it today. Aside from all of that though, ticker WRD, so they are getting a lot of volume today, despite no official news, no SEC filings, just a lot of articles coming out, just bringing up that they're getting abnormal volume. So maybe that's drawing some more individuals to it, assuming that something big might be coming. That's usually what happens in the market. A lot of people essentially are sheep. They see kind of abnormal volume and they think something is coming or whatever else. But as far as shorts have really doubled down, but still not a squeeze play or anything, because only 2.69% of the free float's being shorted. Works out to be 4.58 million shares overall being shorted. With it right now at $11, trading between this R1 and the pivot. 1207 is going to be the next strong kind of resistance slash target, and then 893 is going to be the next strong support. So $12 is going to be that key pivot, which you never know, given the volume getting in, maybe it could be touched. So for those day traders, that's a pretty good 9.5% swing if you think it could happen. So let me know your viewpoint on that. And then last but not least, ticker is CLGN. So they are getting a lot of volume. This morning, it is down 11.76%. No news from them, no SEC filings. They did have their earnings yesterday, which caused them to go up 76%. So today, I think, is just profit taking, and it happens. But 0.08% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 5,000 shares. So very small amount, not a squeeze play or anything. Right now with that 299, it is trading right now between this R3 and this R2. So 288 is going to be a key kind of pivot for it. So just watch for it to hold above that. And then 351, given the momentum in the market, I do feel like this one has a good opportunity to really continue to move higher. So not here to say that it might easily close above that, but you could see a retest of that 351. So for those day traders, this is another one to add to your watch list. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Let me know any other stocks that's kind of floating your boat. And do you think that this FOMO is justified in the market right now, or do you think it's more of a Fugazi type of thing? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.